Hello, my dear TET aspirants. I am A. Madhubabu, working as Scholar Center in English at ZP High School Plus Brahmantarla. Well, on behalf of APSCRT, I would like to present today's class on grammar, and let's see what are we going to cover in today's class. So we'll see the questions related to parts of speech, prepositions, clauses, and sentence structures. Now let's look at the parts of speech first. Look at the sentence here. The beauty of this sentence is you can find all the parts of speech in this sentence. Oh, a good student works hard at her studies and she enjoys learning. So just identify, we know that student is a noun and the good, it qualifies noun, so it is adjective, and works is a verb, and if you find the word hard, it is an adverb, right? Because it talks about the work. How does he or she works? So at is preposition and conjunction, she pronoun, and o is an interjection. Now let's look at some of the examples. What are the various types of questions we may get under this area? She often shops with her friends. If you look at this particular sentence, so when you look at shop or shops, the word which we get immediately in our idea is, we may think noun. But if you observe clearly, so here are your options. So what do you think is the right option? Yes, she often shops. That means she does shopping. It's a verb. So the correct option is C. Now let's look at another example. If you practice well, you will get good rank in DSC. So what do you think if is? Is it a noun, conjunction, or a verb, or a preposition? Yes, it combines the sentences. You practice well, you will get. So it is a conjunction. Now the next question we will have is related to prepositions. And if you look at the prepositions, we may get simple prepositions or complex prepositions like in, on, at, or during related to timing, and the position and location is above, in between, when you can find the ball, where is the ball. And when you look at the compound prepositions, these are very important, and phrasal prepositions, and we'll get a lot of things like good at or interested in. And now let's look at some of the questions that we may get. So she is good dash English but interested dash painting. So any idea? Just go through the options. Yes, it's a compound preposition and you have to say good at and interested in. So the right option is B. Now let's look at another example. She had to choose dash chocolate and ice cream. So is it in, on, with, or between? So you know the rule that it's always between and, from, to. So the correct option is choose between chocolate and ice cream. So the option is D. And here we have interesting examples. When you think of Latin comparatives, we use the preposition. Which preposition do we use? Just think. Junior, senior, like that. So it is, he is junior, not than me. It is to me. Okay. So this is the right option, is to me. Now let's look at the clauses. And here you should know what's a clause and what's a phrase, and what are the different clauses we have, like independent clause and dependent clauses. For example, if you look at what is a clause, a group of words that contains a subject and a finite verb. That's what you have to find out. So in a sentence, they will ask, identify the main clause or subordinate clause. Okay. So now let's look at some of the questions we may get under this category. I'll call you when I reach home. So here, what is the main clause here? I will call you. So if you say when I reach home, the sentence is not complete. So that's what we call like subordinate clause or dependent clause. So here you have to find out, the key area is how to find out a noun clause or an adjective clause or adverbial clause. Here you have to find out, most of the noun clauses start with what, why, when, how. Okay, so you can say simply, the man explained how he had saved her life. See, a clause that replaces a noun in a sentence is called a noun clause. If you look at the second sentence, adjective clause, a clause that modifies noun or pronoun. And mostly we can say these are like relative clauses also. And the first noun clause is also known as nominal clause. And let's look at the adjective clause. The girl who won the prize is my friend. So the key words to identify is, you can find who or whom or whose or which or that. And the another one is adverbial clause, a clause that modifies a verb, adjective or adverb. I'll call you after I meet her. This is an example. And you can find the keyword here is when or after or since or as. So now let's look at a few examples that we may get under this category. Although it was raining, we went for a walk. So identify the dependent clause here. So here you have to think which is dependent and which is independent. If you say although it was raining, is the sentence complete? So it has to depend on someone, some other clause. So we went for a walk. It is an independent clause. So now let's look at the example. Is it was raining, went for a walk, although it was raining, and for a walk. So what do you think is the right option? Yes, it is although it was raining. Now let's look at another example. I have no idea about why you were so upset. Did you remember what we said? To identify the noun clause, we have to think like it begins with why or how or when. So here are the examples for you. Adverbial clauses, noun clause, adjective clause, and prepositional clause. What do you think? Yes, it is noun clause. Now let's look at another area, that is sentence structures. If you look at this category, we'll find the different sentence structures, like is it a simple sentence, compound sentence, or complex sentence. Now here is just small helpline for you. What is a simple sentence? You can think it should be one independent clause with or without a phrase. For example, seeing the snake, he ran away. If you look at the sentence, he ran away, it's a simple sentence, and that phrase is seeing the snake. It's not a finite verb. That's what you have to think. And the second one is compound clause. It has two or more independent clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction. Okay, the questions we can find and the helpline is, you can find all the fanboys like and, but, so, yet, or. He saw the snake and he ran away. And the last category is complex structure, this independent, it has got an independent clause and a dependent clause with a subordinating conjunction like since or as or though or if or unless. As he saw the snake, he ran away. So these are the different types of sentences we may get. Now let's look at the questions. Though she is highly qualified, she has no confidence. So what type of sentence is this? Is it a simple, compound, or complex, or compound complex? Though she is highly qualified. So it is a dependent clause. So she has no confidence, that is independent clause. So then it is a complex sentence. Now let's look at another example. After eating breakfast, he went to school. The above sentence is a. Read the sentence carefully and find whether it's a simple sentence, compound sentence, or a complex sentence, or compound complex sentence. What you have to identify is whether it has two clauses or not. If it has only one clause, it will be simple sentence. That also, it has an independent clause like he went to school, and that after eating breakfast is a phrase. So it is a simple sentence. Yes. Well, that's all for today. We try to learn some of the questions related to sentence structures, clauses, and parts of speech. So let's meet in another class. Thank you for watching and wish you all the very best.